Yeah, and games in Dota, of course, of how the game goes and position on the enemy team, like he was hoping.
It is like there's a bit better initiation on some of these team fights, especially
as well. I mean, Liquid had to really hold.
Yeah, they did, and it also makes things. That's something that we got to bring up, right? The Broodmother looks at me and he's like, "Is Broodmother just OP?" Oh, he's pretty sick. Like Broodmother, time and time again, this ultimate has gotten 20% lifesteal or something like that on situations. He was able to challenge and matter, right? Because he just got so much energy and all these other things that was going the way of the Brood.
Yeah. What about that net swing? By 53 minutes, so 25 minutes later, 1,200. I mean, what sort of swing?
Is more indicative of how the game went, because you're an alchemist, you're naturally gonna get really far. The second one matters a lot, because that's the problem is he gave away
but the PA was
that don't add to his own net worth that he gave away, and he's still feeding them items, and they still don't.
Because it's just a standout stat. Obviously, the solo 1,800.
Yeah,
I mean that's a rough game. That's it. That's all you get. Nothing else.
Times and. In the laning phase was really rough. In the mid overall game flow, it did so much. They didn't have any of this big magic burst or anything to be able to reset the fight.
How hard is games in the sense that so far you've got the right matchups, and then something like that. How do you bounce back?
It's pretty rare because you don't really know. It was a lot of tiny things that eventually to lose, because in Dota you get a little marks, but you're not.
I think you just have to focus on like what game and say like, okay, we did this into, you know, some thing, and be like, okay, we're gonna do that better for this. Especially in the middle of this best of 3, you try and break. You start assigning blame here and then. Number 1, you should have won game number 2.
We're into draft number 3.
I thought that if anything, Virtus would go back to their mainstay in the Venom, because that would be really telling for me about where.
Because it has traditionally been when kind of Tafith pick and we kind of won the game. Dude, that's basically saying,
too strong at being able to fight. You can fit it into the that it has now. It's not focused on tier 3s and Raxes, while the enemy team is just
taking. Virtus.pro, of course, have got
picking up the Bane, and they go for what does Ogre give you that's so important? It's a damage amplifier.
Yeah, best thing about that Ogre is addition. Like, I don't know what the statistics are. He just gets the rough end of things. He has in like an hour game.
Yeah,
but
steal a couple of camps.
if you're gonna play that kind of hero, why not be /useful version of your?
So they are going to pick this Brood.
The problem is this Ogre does in some of these engagements, Banes control the Broodmother, so that much stronger against Broodmother. Some of this has got to come down. Picks where they're going to have this bloodlust synergy remains a bit of an enigma.
Trying the same thing, see if they can
tanky or can just go farms. Should have seen this just phase, and almost nobody does that unless you're gonna.
They did in the second game as well.
So for Virtus.pro, was it the option of just having a really tanky core? That's it.
Oh, Brewmaster. I've been kind of curious as to why it is a pretty strong hero right now of doing with the offlane Brewmaster that no other offlaner really can give you when you pop really good damage. It's actually a heavy hitman. I think that's one of my favorite things. Is that it's on cooldown. He's significantly weaker, but Initiator and his other hands from Chunk and he could say if they actually VP had 2 different heroes that were good versus Brood.
And the Rubik's is back. Full
good Waters thing, where Virtus.pro is going to take the Brood again.
If it didn't ban it first phase, I guess.
Let's discuss it because it's a possibility, right? And Virtus.pro take the Troll, but instead they just straight up take it.
Pretty bad watching low and kind of damage over time in that regard, in that he's the Broodmother presents and Steely get a stun, not let her get that life.
They can take. It's nice to play against the Troll. I don't know how they feel the Veno, but and they still have room for
this big game to make it a 4 position, like just like Wyvern. Again for looking or they're both out. Because Night Stalker's down as well. Can Liquid support a... Because it's good versus impotent against both those heroes. For the Terrabit pushes?
Green phase okay. TB and Root for
potential like aggro, pseudo aggro try with Virtus.pro roaming there. The Kunkka for additional team position combos,
so the
which would be go back to set.
So what are we looking for here for Liquid?
Position. We think it's going to be a GH like
GH takes the Rubik.
but I don't think the damage is good enough. Initiation, not just. I missed that hero too.
And Brewmaster. They take Wyvern game.
Yeah,
like you suggested.
It was, wasn't it?
They are going to be running. They 4 position, so they really don't have that stuff that we were talking about earlier.
It depends what he does.
The
Yeah,
instant lift is really nice.
Stun, you know, big fight.
To do some damage, you know, get a TB as well. So draft done.
I lost track of all the.
Food and Venom all on the same team.
You know, it's going to be less about the draft for me here. I feel like they outplayed Team Liquid pretty well. They should have won game number 2.
Yep.
Seems like.
And I think this Terrorblade is going to...
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, gents. Line to find our first semi-final.
Here we have it, the game that we've been waiting for. I'm ODPixel, I'll be joined, of course, once again. We're seeing the drafts, a bit of a change up. They rounded off a little bit differently with Miracle. VP's chances a little better this game.
I think they've had great drafts all 3 games. In this game, it really comes down to... oh, wait a second, they found Matumba.
They did. They're Team Liquid, so they open up straight away on these stairs into the hand VP. They've got to get with this Metamorphosis. Is it going to be in though? The heal coming out from the Death Pulse. Again! Oh, not this time, though. Does use Miracle for that. That's Miracle that Mind Control will be able to steal.
In an awful position.
I mean, this...
Alright, doesn't look...
They're going to be the ones happy with that, aren't they, for sure?
Metamorphosis being on cooldown makes this 1.5. So, good stuff. What I was getting at with their lineup is I think Troll in teamfights is extremely limited. Then a bash from Troll or a Fire Blast. Reliable for them to get good fight list. Brew, exactly what they're doing with Ench. He is helping Posh safe lane of Necro Ogre, which is a lane in an even,
that looks like
a difficult lane to win for them.
Oh, yeah, for Liquid with the PA last game.
No, I don't. It's that this Ogre and Necro will go and pull the big camp. And every get in a hit or 2. And then it comes to mid, putting on some pressure here. I think no. And he has a flask, so it's gonna want to secure Miracle to start and
the last game that they did a similar sort of move. They happen in game 2. He gets left to prioritize rotating in on that soul.
CS top. Yep, here comes Ench. Hello, Juke. That did not work at all.
Where you go?
I'll tell you something. It's awful. You know.
I mean, I'm
pretty rude.
pretty. Well, I mean, he is, isn't he?
He's just a boy, malicious person. He's very friendly.
No, Kuro. That's right.
Brood first phase. Oh.
Yeah. But these lanes, as we're saying, and how we say, as we said, Miracle. He's not for 6 on him compared to the 6 for 0 of Ramsey.
Of that lane completely. Kuro coming down there easy, and it's EP just toward getting Brewmaster a good start. Then said earlier, I think it's the right approach, but they need to get Brood off. Brewmaster Broodlings there, I think, with the.
You do a gross shroud from Ramses to make sure that by the telekinesis, drag Terrorblade. This bottom lane, the top lane's nice for them, but this bottom lane, but getting free kills like that as well.
Go top, you pressure the Veno out of the lane. I would have liked to see this 1 minute earlier in bottom, and now it's recovery time. They could have, and if Ench comes in at the right time, they can counter level 3. So this even has a medallion. He's going to bully the way. His calls for a lane swap for a Miracle. He cannot be mirror and go top.
Bang, just won't be there. All about how Miracle plays this and how straight up to the high ground, catching Kuro. They have, so he'll be able to get himself.
Oh, Miracle.
Now they will indeed close back on, and there is no save for him. Who knew they were coming from behind because of the attempts way out of that?
If he had a TP out, he actually chooses to come back bottom. That they're doing this, but managed because of levels and the obvious Sunken Haze.
Actually, it's not an easy lane for. It does also have Metamorphosis backup.
I can see it. I think it's beta. Good luck, Mind Control.
It's such a tough. I mean, I said with the
4 against level 7 almost.
Yeah. At this point, if you're top lane, it looks like the answer is no. He's going straight back up there.
He has to be there and just push out this lane so they don't lane for that reason. That's good. Okay. If he goes and yeah, that's just not. They need to have a hero in lane top. In the edge, but it might be even worse. Yeah, he's hero in this lane, and then he's just gonna play it.
So that sentry still down as well.
The most common sight.
That's a pull. Oh, Steve. Solo.
It's like a trade here.
A little too slippery. The
medallion. A lot of damage. He's okay.
For now. Alongside Kuro. A little better for me this lane again, but still very much. GH. Taking a nice rune. Ramses just about to. GH already being gone upon him. Ramses whip it down. Oh. Doesn't even get the chance. Must be is what most played overall time.
It might be, actually. It has also been played a lot. I think it's still Disruptor, but they didn't run it very much, I believe. Ogre really became a big pick.
Actually, only 36. No, that's pro Ogre.
Yeah, but
He's played more than 36 Ogre games, but apparently not.
So that smoke from Liquid did they at least get a ward out with it? That they didn't really accomplish much. Still playing their Terrorblade down there. So again, he takes a lot of damage here.
Man, they do have the mischance from the axe. He's fine. The blast. VP will keep it, will retreat. Another good timing for them.
Absolutely.
As well, bringing each other down low. But yes, very, very close between the two of them at the moment.
Low support levels, once again.
It is.
GH is level 4. And Lil has made himself a much bigger solo's Ogre.
This could be hard to do.
I think Posh is still having a kill move soon.
Okay.
The next rotation, kill this Terrorblade and get the tower. If Reaper, didn't get the kill. That's a full heal for.
And the pressure on this mid lane is tier 1 trying to take that map control. Sort of a game, you know, the Brew pick, even though I guess they've got the X's. Oh my goodness, VP are going to farm so much.
As well, so is GH, but from the bottom he could. Does he have meta? Oh, you know. And they're going to go. He loses pathing. That's a really important. That's really
kill as well.
Scan into dust by a little.
Game
pretty even though. Once again, I feel like that's maybe it's only one.
It's just
highest item value you can get on this. If it's any good in the game, I think it's your priority. Invulnerable. Like this is a real damage. The Rubik doesn't deal much damage. It's literal to prevent.
And of course,
it's only the lift to magical, and you can frontline and not be scared of going in.
And these are heroes that are does Terrorblade nowadays build a
Miracle actually likes that build where it goes to Diffusal. I think he might go to Diffusal since the Troll Blind, but
catch no one here in the mid lane. So they can follow up in terms of control.
That really should be a little bit of a bonus. Liquid take towers this game. If they don't, wait, he got.
Although
that was a lot of damage.
Really nice. The dust. GH also. That's a smart man.
That was a fast kill. Like, oh, this is a farm brood, and then he's so fragile. It all read from no one that he can just get a dust and solo.
It's just a hero you have to play around. It's very, very different in that sense. Troll. Especially at this stage, when he has the KB, he is in a fantastic position. 3K net worth and growing. Really, in all of the games that we've seen,
yeah.
I mean, it's just an overall. He always finds something.
His weakness, if I had to pick, both in terms of when to go in and his item is analyzed correctly, I think sometimes he overestimated. Did very, very well on Alk.
Oh,
VP win their games. If no one is rest team in the world, because they around them in that mid game, but if they make one or two on a strong late game.
Will indeed be a goner.
That's alright. Do they get it? Can they turn it into something meaningful? It looks like they. Same time they're pushing mid, but once again, Matumba. If he gets bashed, he's dead.
There's the bash. Where's he got it?
Comes in.
Oh, the skill build. Yeah, maxing out the.
You mainly max Splinter Blast, and he
even in the new offlane build, there.
He just doesn't get these Brewmaster splits maybe, and he's just too exposed without it. But. I don't know much. I'm not sure how much value he's got out of this Arctic Burn so far. 5 Wyvern in this game because they have GH. Secondary support has wave clear for him. Supports can push waves at all. Very beneficial for them to have wave clear on support. With the time, Terrorblade is pretty good at put Veno is similar, like a bit slow.
But then on the other side, could you look at it as in a lane? Don't you want some of the lanes sort of on your with the farm?
It's you don't have information, and the. Because that is what puts you at risk. That's just how Dota works right now. You have to put that. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, that's why he mac 9D chess by Kurl.
Well, hold back the proof for Matumba, man. This is just pro as well. He pops the cold embrace. It's not. This is him down. VP, Roshan, Matumba, man, the highest net worth on Liquid as well potentially.
It can even go high ground, I think.
He's setting records left, right, and center.
This feels a lot harder than the last game. To having a great time. No one is very farmed. Master has.
That is a ridiculous amount of sins. Still.
Bloodlust.
I get crazy. Look at the. Yeah, this is good for VP. But then again, game 2 was looking pretty.
It was, but I think slippery for them, where they could slip up and it's miracle. But in this game, I don't think anyone is having a great game right now. 2 or 3 times, the Terrorblade. You look at this.
It takes so much time with the Terrorblade.
He's 9600. These are favoring Virtus.pro, so if they can take it seems really difficult for Liquid. Yeah, it's got this one. They're saving this ensnare. Very nice play. It's fine.
Okay.
He might have clutch getting out.
Good job as well. Losing any gold at this stage would be
important. Night time, so they do not have that vision. It's gonna loves farming up plague wards, gives him stacks. Doesn't really take any damage doing play. If they do want to push high ground, just flat out Rex to troll. If he gets cursed, he will die. To troll, they need to not position their heroes and use his ulti. If they can prevent that, this is last tower first, and then think
the fact that that Radiance can be if at the moment just aggressively from this push from VP, but he may have to come achieving from this push as no one just stands easy to rock and roll with the primal split, looking for rather deep. He's behind the tier 4s. They continue to play with mind control, trying to fight. And I think that happens to no one. Now he respects the fact the miracle's there. It's enough damage to bring down Ramsey. Solo VP will pay for that stop. And unnecessary.
And HP pops his BKB and he has to run away, and then you BKB your second life. But basically, tower, that's a fine play. But then you got to get out, and most important spell to get a tower kills the kill on Necro is pretty big. If they have to wait for another Aegis, this terribly, we're talking a lot about the enemies get stronger.
Look at this
so
down bottom. I mean, GH, of course.
Well played.
Of course.
But this, okay, so troll selection is a problem. As much as no one keeps scaling, he scales bad positioning or bad decision making to keep things under control. But just because it's a 9k gold lead and it's not an alchemist inflated game.
Miracle indeed is going whether he does indeed play through it. So it'll be there sooner than the VP go for their next go for it again with the Aegis, or do they go for it?
I think they with the troll BKB and the Bruce. That is a good kill. Yeah.
They got him.
That was point 1.
That was point.
That was
easy to find outside of the base.
Still, they took a lot of.
Force a buyback out.
He almost died. Kuro
jumps in. Kuro does have the cold impress. It's indeed going to be Kuro down for 50. He coming out from mind control, but the bomb racks already do respect it. They will back up straight away for that racks for now. They're going to is out with the metamorphosis. They don't want to not looking to make the same mistake that they had before, but it does mean they don't get the.
I believe there was a glyph extended there and the Tom Liquid. Actually, the glyph was on
the glyph was still on cooldown. I think
they know that Roshan is spawning split instead of saving it for a potential Rosh spawn window, and they have primal split in 20 seconds. Whereas they might be probably going to be a BKB for Brood and another very good farm.
I think one game is the way that they are playing around. He's getting on the farm in the world. Of course, he's managed to catch him out of position. They've read the.
They got the link off. That's 200 gold. Actually, more probably.
And this game as well. Look at that.
70.
Sure, you have ways of clearing them the axes, but you don't expect that much.
That's a criminally high amount. 13, that was pretty. Break out of this one. He can run away though with an early spawn here. This should be a VP Rosh with the.
I like that as well. He did have the BKB queue up, but he's changed to BKB. It's just never really enough.
It's got to be it. But very strong choice when you're playing against Airblades. But best cores at itemizing, I think.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Definitely. I don't think it was an easy choice for him. I think.
Yeah, Sunder matter.
Yeah, Sunder.
Will be punished. Of course, keeping some good split push pressure on the tier 2, nearly falling with the TP. And his rest on Ramses, obviously, as we've been just 604. This is just an incredible.
And control. Oh, they wasted Sunder too. Wait, who did he Sunder? He must be so not available. The list lane
has no buyback. That will be a clean rack. So we saw them get a lead and
oh, Kuro's died. Needed one more hit from the fire.
I mean, do you see?
He stole Bruce Rubik? Did I see it?
He did.
BKB timing, surprise Bruce Split. If they didn't, Bruce Split is actually one of the best counter. Look at the Sunder now. Oh, he actually is. This Bruce Split is really good against Sanda.
So that's true. Yeah.
So now
oh no! What?
All right, he's coming.
I mean, this one of the best troll games I've seen.
And there's the split.
Yeah, I've got that problem. Ramses
did dispel it, but
moving in with the metamorphosis. Pasha comes in with the clap. Split turns towards Matuman. Dust is out. The rest of VP, they've got to be very careful. He's around.
Oh, perfect rolling axes. That's pretty big, but either Radiance Necro. They're irrelevant for that, but he died.
On his iron progression. With,
there were a couple of plays in that fight that I've Bruce Split dispelled the Ghost Rowdy. At the same time, the Bruce Split from the action of this game, and that dispelled 2 Mantas and 1 Conjure Image, and they both to that AoE dispel from Bruce.
Don't really see Master versus Terra.
I'm not sure exactly how much health Terra has. I think about 3k.
I mean, yeah, I was going to be after the Skadi, you're close to keeping them
again for VP. And Liquid are on the high ground. Ramsey's leading the charge. Should just blink in and split, and Troll will the Broodmother or the it might not be good enough for them.
What are you taking
It
on to 25? Did you take the Magic Resist or the well not this game? Having that reduced cooldown, line not dying.
The thing is, you have one BK, but he's stuff.
Yeah.
Take one good fight and then better this game. It's very good BKB, MKB.
Of course, just might as well get a use out of it.
Just pushing the wave a little bit as well. So ahead of one of us. That did a glyph.
It gets the glyph out. And
Brew,
well, he's got the AC as well.
which with Demolish has opportunity for Liquid for like a minute. For Troll and
they're gonna do it.
Insta go against the wall. They can't just let this happen again. Then they lose two.
Bit of it. They're down in mid.
Troll. They saw him break smoke to hit the creep. So up with this smoke now is to get good up. It should be VP's next objective to go. And if Liquid lose that fight, they probably lose the game. Guaranteed tower, probably some max damage. You know how it go.
Miracle still holding it will be there. As you know,
Yeah.
that he's missing out on. So
He
that knock back. Wave clear. At this stage, these aren't super easy, as you say. They can eliminate some. It becomes a lot easier. Breaking job of holding VP.
But have to have this Roshan in the back of the minds. I don't think she's go the way of VP. They have to try and take VP. They have to assume that VP haven't covered that area at all. They've played, and this could give no one an opportunity. Or he's just gonna. He wanted that on the high ground. Didn't matter. Got deep. Move in. Just gonna farm a bit right until Rosh. Nobody wants to engage into the crazy. Oh, okay. Be there either. Just you managed to get a D ward up there.
Man down.
Oh, I don't. It's a little bit for the Aegis like that. Now they're just more or less. Maybe they don't give a. The reason I'm concerned.
They're getting a lot of damage onto this rack.
And
Ooh, that quick blink. Yeah.
I think that highlighted what could have definitely gone wide.
Yeah.
And down. If meta wasn't popped there by Miracle, they're pretty safe about taking this with Metamorphosis on cooldown. We'll go. I was just on. I feel like that, and it could have
backfired.
It could have backfired, exactly. It could have backfired what he could. They didn't fully commit.
All round the
Stolen Reaper?
Oh, I think it is.
Oh.
Hey. Well, you know what the strat is now, isn't it? It's the Terrorblade. You Sunder.
That is a very likely. Yeah.
Goes for the Sunder Reaper.
Okay, I think that. Well,
Yeah.
that is an option that they do have.
It's close. It's enough to see if they can get some more out of this. They've got their eyes on no. He's in a lot of trouble, but it'll be forced back cold. No one falling low. Liquid. And these are the sort of defenses that we saw in push VP back. They get themselves a...
That GH stole it. The tier 3 in mid is now down as well, so is ready for Liquid.
This
Really
position here.
dangerous.
He's out of there.
Yep. Oh, wait.
Has to be careful. He does have Sunder. Well, the issue for him there, with him as they pop the Lincolns, be outside of the base.
They're just buying time there if Pasha was alive.
Look at the diffuser blade.
It's hard to
There we go. To get me off, it doesn't matter. The physical for 80 seconds, and Liquid aren't done. But finally goes, they get another take down. The Enchantress is looking spooky for again here in game 3, despite these plays that are costing them heavily.
You need to stay focused the whole game, and it's really exhausting. Liquid pounds on that. Saw to get something done here.
He's trying.
Necro, so they're actually not fighting ready, and Liquid.
So he's going to have to think about running.
Got
Does
it,
manage
Cliff.
to get the gun to no one. Is he going to be able to blink out if he can? GH trying for the hunt. Look at that Pasha. He's ready with the blink every time.
Commend VP on that play though. That was really beautiful, and just buy a lot of space after without any coverage. No Brewmasters. They have to know that Liquid will try to make these aggressive. Ramses is this time he's not and will start making a bit more.
That is the bit, because we've seen, you know, if quickly both of these cores.
If I think the challenge for them is to found the word though. Better in a better position. They're more grouped up. But no waves in Liquid. Illusions out mid. Top wave is already put. That could be another moment of opportunity for a push without Aegis now.
I mean,
now that
I see Butterfly on Terrorblade. You know,
the thing is, man, I don't think it's going to get easy. Terrorblade is reaching point of critical mass with the glyph on cooldown. They just need one wave. There we go. This is smoke.
See what they do. Efficiency from that Midas.
Oh, they seemed
trying to get his way.
Yeah,
Miracle Blade down. Miracle forced back. Now touch coming out from this TB, and so they do lose. But somebody need.
He has Sunder. It's broken
here from no one. Kuro. Oh no!
What?
That was not the plan. He wanted to get the fund. Pasha's coming in with a wraparound. Kuro's coming out. They know they have to keep Miracle alive. He will be fine there, but he's sure the Sunder's the right target.
But Troll just newly purchased Hex. Man, they're standing so aggressive. Like,
I mean, that's the VP.
Yeah.
You know, Miracle. at this stage of the game, as it normally does go.
Oh, they're trying to hit
Around, looking for Miracle, mid lane, back towards Ramsey. Can they chase for more? They have the diffuser blade. GH will look for the grab. Miracle fully low. Miracle, he's getting more out of this. Mind control, drops the poison. Noros down on Liquid without buyback. He just be about to join them. He has to do this. This will buy crucial time for Liquid's coming boy.
Come on, GH.
But Tummerman still alive in the mid lane, eyeing up Lil. Away down the mid. The TP's coming through for over a minute. This towards the top racks. They'll take lives that this Terror Blade does not finishes by the looks of it as the tier 4. And it is indeed game. Virtus.pro taking Liquid and some very... It should have been their game to win. In the flip up, they paid the price, losing game 2 back on form. And despite, again, a few errors against a TI winning team.
Absolutely a bit better, but in all 3 games, they're definitely should a better, stronger mid-late game. Clutch catch in the end on the Terror Blade, which ends when they're 20k behind, they can pull the comeback ahead.
Absolutely. And always smack talk being able to back is Virtus.pro. Winning team Liquid 2-1. We'll head over to a break and the ESL Hamburg Major.
It's been a while, but top 6 TI after the month after.
And that's all. And then we went to the boot camp, and now we're here.
All right. So for this of the season, how specifically did you?
Something very special because there were some little fixes, and that's all.
For this, to try and see what other people were doing and try to.
Actually, not. That was teams, so the only Liquid and maybe they were not good. First tournament after super good there.
You are slightly worried that perhaps so this is your time.
Yeah, I won't feed. It's good opses and kill current. I think it's when you have to like your course hard to make yourself. Captain will pick to make like highlights, maybe Ruby, and it's pretty hard to
shine.
Yeah.
But in that, you are the most. You do well in that one, and good luck in the tournament.
You're gonna break my heart, no matter for you.
One Hamburg is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Gerosh, Legion Lenovo. Post-match breakdown.
It's over as far as Team Liquid are concerned. Virtus.pro come to a crashing end this time around, and they, more importantly, in their brand new season for our Russian and once more with Cap and Blitz, who are going to break everything, work out where they went wrong, and also wasn't quite the classic we were hoping for at the end.
Yeah, I'd say that both of their potential necessarily for the series, a couple of sloppy mistakes and something, but if then you could definitely see why these are
leave this a little think, well, we should have won this 3-0. They're okay with that. They've learned a lot more about Liquid.
Like, I actually completely disagree with the team that played bad or messed up. Like, the game, you have two teams that are really skilled. Liquid has to offer. Their first two picked the IO. I think this is a huge win for them.
Played really well game 2, then we're just got, see whether you can counter it, because it's information for...
If you win with something in Dota, you know how to play against it. It takes a different more than anything, and so you can just keep doing this. I think they got a little bit comfortable, good with it. I'm sure they'll retool, but shown that Liquid is beatable, especially on the...
They can afford to lose matches like them, be stronger coming through the tournament. They're not afraid of... Just adds to that, doesn't it?
Of course. When they went into the lower bracket at TI, it was keep and fix stuff, and it also gives you more diversify yourself a little bit, but I didn't think they'd lose like this.
Right.
Like, they threw their tried and tested the game.
I think the best part is that VP also learned something when it came to their high ground push and their sieging. It's with the Reapers, they steal that. But other than that, I think it's Liquid than they did in game number 2, which was definitely...
Was Troll, Necro, no one, and Ramses.
Yeah, that's been really well to make sure that that was Troll. Yeah. Both like scale got really good laning phase, so they were still
on the drafting side of this. It's always interesting, these two teams. Who won it overall?
I don't like that they won the draft. It's how they won the draft. To offer and counter around it, and they weren't afraid against a team like Liquid and say, "Okay, game," but they're like, "Nope, keep it coming."
Is that maybe a key to understand? Wow, I know that we put Virtus. Hey, you want to play the Wisp? We'll play the Wisp. They're just not scared of that. Is that a VP trait?
Teams may look at this and go, let's go ahead. When they're going to lose horribly 2-0. That is VP. I think they're good enough. But it definitely does show that she's easily one of the strongest heroes of the patch. Continue to let Liquid pick it up. And
okay, we've got a quarter trophy. It's Carl. Put your input in there. Who's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been no one.
Yeah.
I think a lot is, but when it comes down to like Day, he really stood out for me. Every single game ticked a little bit upwards for me.
Okay, it's like it is.
Yeah,
to shine.
Because I feel that they get so much appreciation, the most skill heavy, but they're still.
Okay, Austin.
I would have said no one if I was able to pick.
I
think there was one links about no one that kind of performance after this one. Such a solid core duo.
Yeah, aren't they? All right, thanks very much, gents. Time for us. We are headed to a break, so we can final series of the day. We'll eliminate our going head-to-head against Evil G. Lark is all about. Check this out.
Dude, look at that macro pyre, dude.
Game, record, and stream.
Kaffee? Gerne. Setzt euch doch.
Endlich genau mein Ding. Sparen. Wüstenrot. Wünsche werden Wirklichkeit.
Back in again. Right up.
Hamburg is brought to you in part by Mercedes-Benz, Logitech, Wustenrot, Legion Lenovo.
City of Hamburg, the host city, a major for Dota 2. It is the ESL 1 tournament on the long road in the Dota Professional, on the long road to the international. So on the desk, as we're back here in 2000 of the day, it's an elimination match. Would you? And Fnatic. We're not going to eliminate any back. Nahaz and Malini have joined us.
It's guessing a little bit.
I know you were.
Pretty exciting, kind of how I did like how VP gave them.
Weren't we?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you do? Like, how do you cope with that? Well, you just don't ban them. Just off, Alan. With Evil Geniuses, it's hardly here. That's extraordinary.
This manually, so I hope I got this right, but the EG have played starting in 29 of the pre-finished top 3. No worse than 2 events in that span. Them going out of this tournament without.
It's a phenomenal record against that team. Very difficult, obviously, with the big deal in that one. Again, can't really play too much into that, but this one's fun. And they've won the last 7 games straight. In fact, the DJ and Ohio. So there's something.
EG LGD stat that you mentioned. It does matter.
Yeah, it does.
Sometimes.
And you have that in your mind.
It's super comfortable.
Oh, I hate or
they probably love playing against Envy.
And on that note, we're done.
There's a lot of spice regarding Envy. Do you hear?
Was that the one about his family?
And the goddamn brainchild of Envy is a first pick. After that, he said, "My family wanted me to tweet." He was
wow.
Yeah, I think he obviously had to qualify for this world. So how do you? Very difficult to kind of put them in 4th and maybe wide.
I can tell you where they are in the zero.
Yeah.
They're not looking terrible.
But they get points for here if they get through.
Match.
Yeah.
Day 2.
The question, where'd you put them right now? What to 6?
You know, I thought they were going to do a lot better at the same patch. So I did months ago.
Yeah,
I did too.
Actually, answered question probably like
either.
Nope.
That leads on to the next question, and I don't really want to put it all on one back because their star mid laner is not.
I don't necessarily put it on mailing with very farm dependent cores. The way Liquid plays, it's very hard in this meta to, even if you're winning. Okay, and sack Matumman, leave them on an island, left on an island, and create their own space to give them resources early.
Is not one of those players that you V1 match up in the mid?
No, if you're on a lane, he does make aggressive plays like on his. But he's able to come back because it's stacking for him, okay? He look at what other teams are doing. It's just very hard contributions from one of their cores consistently.
I think it's true that all of their cores are touching the PGL Open where he got sent a bottle.
Everyone still.
It just blew
still for about 5 seconds.
Well, I really is. Yes. Like, yeah, mistakes happen once in a people.
Let's turn our attention to their. Yeah, I mean, this is quite exciting. I like really high highs. Yes, it looks like a cool lineup.
At 1437 had when he went of talent and went on for this team. It just has not
the end of the road or anything. They're coming to the end of the road. There's
plenty of months to get this right. In any sport and in Dota, it's switch regions to go over and play with.
Yeah. It looks so good on paper though.
It did, but in this series in particular, the number 1 in the draft. Just DG is not on their top form lately.
Okay, I mean they're 16 from 706F, which is but they do have the lineup, as we've already this team as well.
Everyone's no weak link, I would say. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's a very, very good support. Going to make flashy plays on his own to shine.
That's why you have Envy, right?
Blah.
No, I am as a player, but he also is weak when you games because that was his Clem Fnatic. These insane farming versions. The way I'll put it is, it's a means, not an end.
DJ, obviously. And one that's seemingly been there forever. I mean, their impact on this team and bringing these.
He's a talent on the team.
DJ is a special name. Around the time of top supports in the world, he hasn't necessarily had stability. And Ohio, from way back, he actually is so aggressive on the hero.
On behalf of this panel, behavior, Alan. Did you just profit? What the hell, man?
It's in the enemy team. It just goes ham. It's crazy.
You've just broken my heart. Luckily for you, though, the draft is on its first draft of the day. goes through to the next match, but loser is done. Their knowledge is just over the road as we drop you in. Let's see here.
Big first, and the answer to that is no.
I've experimented with Wiz. They do have a very so their openers that they led with and Lich were by far the most by Fnatic.
Yeah, for recent time they were showing a lot of first pays, Pugna-ized. Maybe it fell. I don't think we've seen a single Pugna pick so far.
No,
there's the Lich.
The Kunker as well is the other thing. Jakiro, so AG, so that'll be a...
That's the Jakiro has a lot more value, flex pick potential. Universe will run it.
Potentially, I mean, Fear does play it too.
So Lich and the Jakiro, especially when EG rather, but I'm a little bit surprised. Ember. Because then you would have forced EG to usually because the position 5s that they have super great laning.
Excalibur and Ember Spirit is kind of his, you know, you're not picks. I think Ember doesn't as Amid
pretty good.
Yeah.
Puck are the two hardest mid laners to get
out of the charge, right?
Yeah, I mean, we saw
with the Ember being so early, and then we're very narrow, isn't it? It's like it's great with what it can do, but it
owns the hero. You can't Flame Guard is gone. You don't do that much damage. Silence, long duration. It's the handle of this hero that you have to be, or you compare it with something like a Darkseer. Also, just makes diffusal carriers the best.
And some kind of an Ember enabler. They do ban, as Ben said, and a natural use carry. Also a heavy advantage in. So I think this is the right move by EG2. That the Enchantress, they're banning out the Batrider. Both Chinese you want to get. Batrider can act leaners that EG is concerned about.
Hero. It's a really good matchup for the Batrider. Secondly, I think he's just going to sit at a tower, drop everything, and then wave, and probably 2. But because this hero is much tankier, decent ban.
Really are worried about laning pressure. But we don't like Ember early because it's not just that there are a lot of counters to the hero big lane.
I mean, it's
like he ends up on
Ember in 3 months.
Yeah. I was going to say it's just not
super popular in SEA, but it's like you guys have to ban Viper because
So the ban comes.
Some way to disrupt the Fiend's grip. That hero.
Where do they play the ban?
They're unsure, right? 3 or.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Jakiro, which they can play in 3 different lanes, they can play in 2 different positions. Fnatic.
Yeah, there's your way to get awful. It actually doesn't show PGL and Starlighter put together. Jabs was 6.
What about Lone Druid? EG.
I like that pick here. It's kind of protected from the last 2 picks of resources to gank the lane. For how are you going to have sufficient lane?
The glitch in the sense that you have one hero system lane that is way more static. You need Necrophos like it versus the Lone Druid, just because you want like a Reaper target on hero items. Like you can literally have 0 items, and he's still very difficult to kill. Like Summer, he doesn't have great move speed, but good enough. It's gonna be tough for them to.
Presumably for the last pick, I'm going to assume that the clock. I'm not a huge fan of Io's clock. G presumably looking for that.
Yes.
This is Storm.
Unless not great either.
There's no particularly great versus what they maybe.
Yeah, it was the Bloodseeker game.
So like Reaper this game, there's the Root and the Ember with the Storm Spirit. But at least you'll get to you're not 100% sure.
I mean, you do have quite a bit of freedom in
Puck. He's played the most.
Try something cute, hard counter the Ember.
I would like to see something like a. They want to charge into that as have a decent lane versus the Lone Druid in the one-on-one. You've seen, I don't know, and what other options do we have?
I think Fnatic. I like Fnatic giving them some apply pressure.
That's true. Underlord is very in. I just don't know if they one-on-ones.
Yeah, they've last picked it once.
Other heroes, I guess Elvis. I don't really.
I mean, you could. There is just kind of the Ember partner.
Yeah, they don't. Pretty good. It's just it's not great.
In this meta is done.
It's very safe.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of any Centaur before.
Yeah, you can see in the after Beast. Okay, that.
I also don't really like single target ultimates versus the Lone, particularly great for them. Always as middle laners.
Quap, Nyx, Sven. There's a couple left of those. Here.
A pretty good matchup. They will go for the pretty much
top 7 as well. So yeah, popular.
A solution that they need to go to more and more. Their cores that are going to be very hard. Lone Druid and the Mirana both lots could if they wanted to trial in this. Fnatic's lanes and the early roam.
Boys, break down the. You feel like the favorite may lie.
The Ember Spirit at all? I don't really think there's like that from Fnatic day number 1. So I'll go with EG.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go with EG yourself right more now. More than countering the enemy team, and I think.
Okay. So which way?
EG.
EG as well. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, no way.
Well, I guess sell books, right? And I can exclusively reveal. That's what it says. One, as we head in, a very vital.
Viewers, Blitz and I, we're here to cast Fnatic versus Evil. Seems like Fnatic, perhaps with elimination, maybe isn't as picking AM against Bloodseeker. Is there?
I think this is going to be a pretty nice Ember game. Right now, I feel all right. There's a bunch that you can animation cancel. Playing Lich, just like you roll playing Lich in a game like this, as if you won.
Yeah, because you had a terrible feeling.
You hate your team, and
I did everything.
I was on a whole lot of like game.
I played that.
Like your impact is to make life annoying. And once again, before they haven't had most success. The Jakiro off lane.
Before, do you think that this?
I think it's not just the Spirit Breaker. I think it's alone running somebody. It also comes in the form of like you initiate in things that like that'll help a lot.
Exactly. Kind of like a way. Lane mid, trying to keep deal with a duel at bottom lane. So potential unlikely with two heroes there. And then the kill though with just Cogs, he's just trying to play the horizon. Leaves EG with the advantage. Oh! Dropped quite low here and forced to use his should be fine still. Good enough, but I salve.
Sorry, it's the Frost Armor out before they were lane right now here in mid. Like the up this Flame Guard to get us a single lane to go well. Like that has not doing much better with lanes and not being able to close out.
Can Fnatic really win this to me for them to really be able to win it?
He attacks like really high damage. The Hawk dominate, but he's gonna do just fine in it. For Fnatic right now is you passively win the lanes, you can just like deal with it. Dealing with it, Cap. We saw in the new right now, just pick two really strong laners, DP. This time it's Mirana and Bane.
Some really strong laning phase spells, especially in that early levels.
Arteezy sending his bear back.
The safe lane lone druid, right? You've got your own whatever regen you're going to be needing. Top laner are Jakiro, 16-9.
Had a pretty rough time of it. Felt like what Fnatic lacked in their previous game against those things is this time around. Past, what do they have? They had Venomancer,
AM and Darkseer, I believe, together.
Yeah, but this time around, like the lineup looks 6 can create space on the map. Ember Spirit is, and he is starting to catch up in DS.
Is under attack.
But he minds too much. They're gonna make the go on for them to make with the haste.
Die. Actually, landing on Excalibur, couldn't dodge it. EG, all of a sudden, they are hammer dominant in all 3 lanes.
Be a little bit greedy, but they do manage to get the T, who's starting to get low, has that level of growth.
He does some recovery here as he's going to get over. Be forced to TP back, Pylite breaker kill so easily.
And that it's going to cost them quite a bit more rough. And right now they
yeah, all he's been doing has his own way to be able to ferry.
So the benefit of and he is pretty nice against the
yeah.
And more than gap closer you need is that there's no easy lane for him to the top lane, but Shakiro's
hard kill and you're ganking for a Necrophos that much until he has like level 6.
Because if, for example, let's say from there, and if you go mid.
Do you think that's part of the reason that we saw how we've seen this progression, right? So 4 positions be really important, a bunch of 4 positions, and then we've started the same opportunity as they had previously. Staying on top of a move, the battery assault is a good word for Fnatic.
Yeah, and that was really. I guess he was pushed up really high.
I think that was level 2 battery assault as well.
Yeah, huge kill. As I was talking about how getting kill on the XP. So now he can.
I think he spotted that one too because he already has. So
yeah, that one kill.
And they almost have level 6 on Eternal Envy to be able to bring down Universe even with this top lane is they are unlikely.
What we had just brought up is not easy for him to just really your most likely kill, but it's not easy we see so often for him to just straight up mid. A little bit more annoying in the safe lane. It's better to, and he might even get himself another one.
Go for the kill, and Reaper Scythe is not going to be there, but they do at least get the kill.
Very nice pickup. Sumail gonna get gone on mid. Doesn't
gonna go for the leap out, but the Remnant is up. Oh, that right on top of himself. Mirana slides himself away. Now their damage from the Brain Sap, they're gonna bring Eternal below, and they just do not have the big magical damage.
But kill potentials
on the Mirana again. He does have the regen.
Yeah,
feels like he can't pursue.
Double Spirit. Probably Sumail like two down. With like that extra second. Think about it that way, as the war's gonna spot crit, as is that giant golden road. Obvious that
he is a little glowing gold.
It's because
all of EG of their cosmetics, man.
He didn't want to get slept.
Lich really can't do anything about that.
Celine Dion, My Heart Will Always Go On of it. There are certain things that you associate.
I mean, like, it's his name.
It's like the consistent factor. It's never just pointless. He is really good about that. But it's going to be Pylite Die. And if they gank him,
very dangerous.
Somebody's got to do it.
Got the Nightmare. They got to kick the Nightmare off. Gucci in big trouble. They do have the Brain Sap. Plus the Macro Pilot quite a bit. Ohio comes on, thinking they have the burst damage to be able to bring him down. Crit's going to be able to get himself out, though. Nice turnaround there from Fnatic. Oh, get it!
And
Arteezy did.
He wants to roar, try to get it.
Oh, range.
The Bears unable to do so as DG does. And a very good rotation overall by Fnatic. I was a little bit better because in the other game supposed to do that.
They would have said Darkseer.
Because it's a lot more balanced and extra free, but there are no free things in this life.
Another kiss of a tower. Seems like Arteezy will pick up those last hits.
The name of the game. Both supports willing to die. He's charged up as well. Really want this.
Do you think...
Careful, they're starting to sandwich him.
This EP's out underneath the trees.
Oh, this is a huge problem. Tower push, and nobody's ready for tier 2 tower and the position 1.
Something that Fnatic could have read
people at 12 minutes.
Like there was a whole lot of information.
Info play that you have to make.
Yeah, just like really quickly shoves out Dishans himself.
Yeah, as no one goes down mid and starts nuking stuff.
What up?
Pai's like, guy,
something is amiss.
And that's the thing to deaths. But you don't want to be heroes, then maybe they don't get that kill. But because it visioned the entire way through, like Envy come from such a far distance.
Yeah, because honestly,
what's going on right now? Ohio's just.
Yeah, Ohio was thinking about, and I bet he regrets that right now because there's no move that we're going to be making here anytime.
I think he's alright with it because now he can do the
Fnatic coming in.
Here we go.
Impiss. Two supports almost immediately. Riverside is going to be able to chase him down with the remnants. Back over to onto Sumail. He's dangerously low, but the rest of they don't really have to lock down anymore. Lost a Fnatic away in that clutch McCore kill out of that engagement. Still
all planned the entire time.
Yeah.
But with the shadow walking into. Good fight setup. Their 2 cores are still a little bit lacking. Benefit of playing this Ember against this Mirana. If they could have gone Druid, that would have been a huge one.
By position maybe in this situation. Throws it up in the shrine.
They've just placed a ward for them. If you just look at the vision on the map with these 5-mans, if you don't have
yeah, and even though the 10 seconds have been in the shrine area, they don't have any heroes that are tier 1 backup.
But going on. I would like. You saw the top lane being shoved down. Depending on who they go for, they're going to see where to go.
Eternal Envy's going to be in trouble. They do have him, so Eternal Envy big kill. That's going to be well with the Chain Frost bounce, unfortunately as well. But see it any day of the week.
Yeah. The thing is, when you make plays like that, because if you see your team go, then you sort of know what's going on. So you saw him run by 2 supports. There's not a whole lot that we can.
Abandon safe and in the safe lane twice now. Eternal Envy's why is he going top lane? It's jungle. Why is he the one going up there? See? So
he probably thinks he's
with the Ghost Shroud and Force Staff.
Yeah,
you go on me, but if you don't keep these and stuff,
and somebody's got to be shoving out lane. But
or Beastmaster is the other.
He's
force
probably the most because it's easiest for him to shove out lanes. Commentators bring it up because I'm sure people are tired. Further, if you shove in the wave. Anybody on the side of EG go to push this, they are playing on another side of the map. You start to lose vision, and that's why you're showing up. It forces a counter reaction. If I have some gold on the map and B, I know you're not in that.
If you're farming like the hard camp over there or something, dude, why aren't you defending?
Yeah, nobody's
why
there.
don't you put out the wave? Are able to shove out waves.
Also, wave, you can go for smoke plays and connect Fnatic. They're smoked because now somebody has to go shove out bottom, and this is
through, and they already have the Force Staff to get Universe out. Fnatic, the Primal Route turnaround onto to save either one of the supports, but Mail will slow him down, get the extra geniuses.
Oh, they're going to go for Roche. Last time they were really patient. They went all the way around. Time around, they go on this Shakiro.
And they also don't like hogs him towards hogs, which is an easy Force Staff save.
Cross off.
So in that situation, you wanted
a little bit scary because if you run into somebody and grab a tower, is the idea. The play all the way down to bottom to kill the Bane nonetheless.
Moonlight Shadow, free smokes all day.
Really hard to just place sentries everywhere.
Into a charge, plus they're gonna who's on top of the Macro Pyre. Beautiful setup.
Important kill right now. As that Ember Spirit.
He's trying to finish up that Radiant.
Up to him right now, him and Beastmaster to show, so Envy feels more comfortable farming in the jungle.
In the same situation you have about it, my friend. Your carry is gone.
You notice he was under the guise of 2 different. It's a little bit low, but I think they want to go for high ground.
20, a lot of damage on it.
Yeah.
Free pushes, right?
No. He's even going for what I think is to stop the roar. It's not easy for them to get on top. Normally, I'd say you get
the Hurricane Pike.
Sumail's also full Lincolns on him.
Yes, too, especially since he's got that level 50.
Fanatics plays. It's like cap. It's true.
It's gonna be bumped back by the charge here. No ice pack. So, I'm thinking you're gonna round play. I want to get that mid tower. A lot of problems. I feel like they can't make that
important right now. It's what allowed when the smoke engagement came, Fnatic to make upwards plays into premium on that tier 1 tower. And they prioritized it even over the bottom tier.
Their big swing. Mirana's huge minute marker.
The game is pretty dry. It's unreliable.
Oh, Arteezy, heartless from Fnatic.
Is that like patricide?
Of his of the big bear?
Oh.
Okay.
You're sacked
between that bear and
it's cool, I like it.
Agree.
No, it's all good.
It's for the pickups. Oh, this is really cool. Look at this. The Hawkers play from Fnatic. Very cool. As long as they actually get the kill.
No,
Ohio's dead. He looks so foolish now.
That was needed to follow up. They thought it was a free kill.
Shadow usage by Sumail.
Gonna get charged up a crit. Oh, that's...
And a pick off like that would have been where support a core pick off with this kind of lead.
But instead, we lose a hero. Oh.
No, there's
a lone spirit breaker. Excalibur, and that's why he's third in net worth in this game, is that he can't continue to make these plays. Some follow-up issues, but Chart making up for a lot of the flaws in their lineups.
Arrow, Excalibur's gonna be able to purge. Meanwhile, in mid lane, ooh, Fear's gonna get off. It may have stopped the Fiend's grip. No, it's silly TPing back. He does not want to be here anymore as well.
From the back line, he knows that Ohio's there.
But the creep bodyguard dives in front of the air. It looks like they may have caught a Lich. He is gonna be, oh, never mind. Can't stop that one.
Kills matter for them. Even support kills. Like, they killed the Bane. They can't afford to lose heroes like that. As so far in. And at the same time, for Fnatic, sit inside your base. I don't know if they have room to make the waves and take what's given to you.
Yeah, you have Beastmaster shot blade setup, right? Your Excalibur's gonna get chased away.
Like those. I think Excalibur, like we talked, feel pretty comfortable in this kind of game, or easy to connect on him either. And now Pylite die. We talked about it. Shove it out. You need to gain some more information.
Fight into sacrifice makes you feel a little bit experience I've denied.
You feel like
if
this
you have a
sure.
hard metric to hold on to.
What other 5 position in a game like this that he was?
1941 died, and he is correct. Rope and EG are doing it right now. They're gonna have to move real.
Get this Aegis. I think it's a very easy high ground.
They're gonna try and attack that shrine.
Oh, this is a very
eyes. If they can catch Excalibur, that'd be huge.
Take this fight.
Yeah, now
they're all grouped up.
Somebody here.
DJ, he's looking for the angle right now.
It's the damn wave. It's a good, clear hook shot.
Yeah. Counter here is neither side willing to.
Just.
Clockwork, I think, has a Orchid, by the way.
For a second, I was like, wait. Thanks.
And I like this move right now. Happening, I can just grab this tier 2 tower Freya and send somebody down there, so they probably, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Force something while they're in a sort of 4 versus 2 the Necrophos. See if they can actually bring him down real quick. And the heals.
Oh, it's a really nice chain
thrust. Now in with the nuke is able to bring down 2, and it looks like Excalibur might be able to do it. He's been growed up, and he can't be saved. There's a kill on Jakiro, sure, but no. So he will die as well. They should be able to get Roshan for themselves.
So patient, but they just immediately saw kill that Jakiro. Such a tanky.
Where
now
was
Aegis and Cheese? He went. Yeah, that's why he was able to get that. But it's not easy to grab that.
The downside of the Shadow Blade, right? It gives you better when it comes to a straight up team fight. You're not gonna have that instant stun that sometimes you need.
And it's one of the better items on the side of EG. But this is going to be a nice kill for them.
Downsides and the upsides in rapid rotation down to bottom lanes, and they do have the Aegis in there.
The downside is he says mid, and he just walks in and gets Boar and his Necrobooks right now. The beast get off his toolkit. But at their base, they understand like they super aggressively. The only person that can are Ember Spirit.
You're talking about it like all the way back. PG, cancerous hero, and I'm feeling that just mainly just finishes off
him right now. And about the magic burst, it's the fact that
there's chain stun and
have any saves. These items that they just simply can't afford right now.
Then he starts looking like
kind of useful. You can frost armor these buildings, and frost armor onto these heroes is quite. Sumail gonna get changed up. Or to lose his tower. This would be a very big tower because it opens up committing for this.
Yeah, absolutely, but objective-based damage here.
Just back up, reset a little bit. Take
so you're not going to worry about using
that. The game with DP ult, I think in hindsight, Excalibur are going to get gone on, but quick, a little bit better than they did in that one.
And even Mirana going into late game.
The previous game is like, you have a Clinks against a Jug away, and now that their lanes are a little bit for timings, to now go for...
They go for bot free gold, that mid tower they initiate on as well.
They probably need they have 40 seconds. It's push out top.
And Fnatic are just
Know the
things
time.
out. A few more seconds. From Sumail, he wants to make the commitment here, but they don't have the physical damage to deal with them, so he's got to be able to save most of them. They get up to full arrow. Oh, actually, a little wobbling there up there. Aegis 2, 1. So each hard.
Oh, they're very happy. That arrow initiation. And Fnatic had to be for them. There is a shrine nearby. They're able to I think they know that because of the presence of that.
Bottom lane's pushing in. They've got a bomb wards.
Still, they go for the shrine instead. They're going to wait for Roshan number 3. Safe, most likely. Because you're still getting a lot. There's still a lot of room for growth.
Fear. Set up preemptively for a TP.
Or Fnatic. That should spot all the Fear. Now going to deward. Still trying to shove out lanes.
8 Necro minions have been killed by gold.
It's a good
recipe. I love the fact that we have access. Yes, you're playing Fury on, you're shoving out a result, and now we've got those hard numbers.
It like ruins the illusion for most number
you just
to know.
Throw bodies out at them.
Is outdoing theirs has been more, but I think for E that they can take outside the base to just go.
And this Mirana Sumail certainly
are so far ahead of the pack right now.
Good 6K ahead of the Emberster.
Yeah, and Roshan can spend third. Alerted to that
because you want to keep Fnatic inside of it.
What you want to do is push in all the waves, then and you want to farm the jungle so PM.
And the original push outs like they're doing right now, the two things that we've seen from Fnatic where they pushed out.
EG, waiting for that next egg. It's an amount of chance that you can get churned. Don't count Fnatic out damage. His hero is good against the cores.
EG without losing that leaves you a little bit fractured at the same time.
Like this Ember. Because he creates out pretty likely that Fnatic just have a bore. It's worth it because it reset the pace of the game. You're not going to push 4v5.
EKB. And they actually group the other smoke and catch somebody from Eternal and cop of the smoke. And it looks like they've also got the beast bound. Is just looking to be able to disable him. Shadowblade is up. Really great rotation by East.
Now their team is really farmed. Doesn't look like he's up yet, but like Sumail isn't going to find one, but mid tower and
not going to try and see if they make the initiate. Actually slams it at the Beast Master and bounce. Now the clockwork is back up the avenue, back into the game. A big team fight.
It's way too awkward at this point not to.
By EG.
Yeah, for you to take a fight when they have biggest. Imagine they go for some kind of play. They're going to get that taken care of.
Ember Spear, bring him down real quickly. There's no arrow onto Eternal MP as well. No buybacks. Without buybacks. The genius is, and it's by a pretty wide margin.
It's an important distinction for most drafts is regardless of where the game goes, like what draft.
Okay, so what did they do anything better here? That
played the fights a little bit more together lineup, but for Fnatic ran a bit better this time around, but
can give us a game 2.
About following a few simple rules. Work hard, start a family. Time to grow up.
Um zu erkennen, was ein Mineralwasser besonders macht, mit wertvollem Calcium und Magnesium ein. Gerolsteiner, das Wasser mit Sternen.
Next level.
I'm not very worried about losing it.
So what's really going to separate them is decision making.
same thing. Should be pretty awesome, and just more.
Such a fantastic round to really test out. I can absolutely guarantee it's going to be.
Infinite power. ESL 1 Hum, Intel, Mercedes, Wüstenrot, and StubHub.
ESL 1 Hamburg teams. One team just moved to the Barclaycard Arena, and that team needing to make a comeback. We're going to break the end. Didn't really go.
Not what they hoped for.
No, I mean, I saw the cut away when it just looked like destroyed. Like a, I don't know, maybe they're flying around the room together and then enjoying playing Dota. Good, did it?
No, that they picked. Part of it was janky, 3-5. You look at, you pick a lineup, okay, with right, and you're not using all 4 roars were on the 3-5 positions, and 5 of the 7 hook shots on through, not getting those big core kills.
Good was it for Fnatic?
They didn't have a choice.
Had a choice?
I mean, not really. Kind of behind the bear. Marana has. I think they had to roster. You're not happy with teams.
Yeah. Something out of it, right? You saw the set it up,
right?
But and you also wrap around where Ohio leaps around kills that they got on those high value targets.
This was
this
wasn't it?
Yeah. At first phase heroes, you either want, really a pick on them, but you first phase.
Not part of Fnatic's problem. We saw this and picked it into a counter, so you've got to be sure that it's going to run the game.
It can be offlane, like offlane touch support.
You pick an Ember in position 2 to go where it's got to go, so you've got to be confident.
Like,
they kind of ignored
whatever.
it.
Excalibur, who cares?
No, but that's what I was kind of saying to themselves, right? We feel like on counter picking them. We're going to concentrate.
The cores games. Universe was safe for the fight.
Really good.
His ice pass really.
You just play way better. Firstly, Bane, really hard thing to do to right. Amazingly high CS. Ember will shut down. He also went into the sleep into the grip and read key pickoffs on the Necrophos. Did the support duo?
Did I see an Orchid on that clock?
Yeah, don't want. They're like, okay, these core damage, so you have all of these heroes.
Yeah, it's bad vibes, bad juju's.
Is fine, get kills on those high value targets. The kills on the 3-5, they were up in kills, but at Mark with a Beastmaster in your lineup. And ports even worse because it means Breaker both have full on complete.
Backward kills of like, I'm not going to. Aren't really value kills, are they?
It was just a big mistake giving Jakiro in the first place. Armor, maybe like a tiny chain frost with the tower. So you lost the laning phase because they melted liquid fire. So that means you give away Jakiro like very, very low value.
I think the end of the draft, it just wasn't enough.
Into the second draft, If we believe what we have mood, it's not great right now. You know, there were things that they did that were okay. They're not like completely horrible. They just picked themselves up in this break. Get back.
Enable Pilot Eye. Pilot Eye is important to this team. I think if you put a hero, 4-player Viper, you're just like wasting. Still don't know why Fnatic banned out Vipers. They either haven't done the research, but then again, you can go back to Swimel and
take the Lich out this time, knowing.
You could probably ban both, then you could
phase. No. It doesn't seem to be like twice in the last.
Well, there you go. There's your.
It's not great, but it's not that. Somewhat seen as a counter Night Stalker. Not amazing.
I'm completely on board. I never saw Fnatic really pressure now that teams are fully exploited.
Planet. So maybe this
name on you.
No.
Flutter and PGL, I think it's 22 and stabilizing, and then Dota, and then seeing that. I really like this one. Red Eyes by Universe there.
Well,
I've actually seen these and go Meepo. Scratching my head about that ban. It's a pretty good point.
Wyverns aren't
honors to Brood, but sure as hell looked like EG Stomp. If you think Troll, but I don't think
maybe a different variant that Fnatic. Okay, why?
Because I think
in a way, no.
With
it's gonna outfarm you 2-1 almost.
He gave up on that. So he built Maelstrom. Yeah, and ideally they want the Brood
coming back into this lane so they can go ahead
and catapult as they're gonna get rid of that pretty soon. I think you have to kind of commit for this.
Spirit Siphon healing.
There's going to be a lot of synergy between those two heroes to try to
man on the opposite side of the map wall. Smoked up Ohio, they may be able to get the initial
pro game.
Yeah. I mean, Brood Mother preventing the Brood from chasing him. I don't think he can go for this one. He doesn't have the nuke. Yeah,
how to
really
grab that kill.
I don't know. How do you enable a Brood Mother though? Now the Roland's going to miss from that.
Oh no.
Different time. Like these poor supports when they do
because they don't have this big stun or anything. Last game, this time they're going to be the ones 5-man
tier 1
tower. Middle tower.
Still
marker, so he's got to know someone's nearby, and he's going to run. Oh, another great Winter's Curse when it comes to diving. I die. Now they didn't have to use Exorcism for it.
Except that's not the case. That can't happen. Force Excalibur to pop this Exorcism
in space.
He would have been a legend though. Know where the vision lies.
To know. We can take this fight as Death Prophet could have held up. Quite a big mid-game peak.
And that's why Fnatic are around that area, and they're one successful fight that could
carry. Windows Fnatic make
objective. Here's the best
information, but you would say
for second tier 2 tower of the game, top
kind of forces the fight around. They thought the BKB Excalibur is going to be fine.
EG. They had to blow the Winter's Curse,
but no such luck.